Makeup.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTube,
Wow.
Facebook, and Instagram. If I get it right and go back over here and do the live, but I don't know that I am. We are all having some technical interessante going on this January 21st, 2025. My name is Kristen Ryder. I am your hostess with the mostest. And y'all know if you need a reading or a sound healing, just go to my website. I'm still doing my Platonic Sound program. That's going to be doing the tetrahedron activation 2 weeks from now. So I can do another video on that because I'm so excited to welcome you to episode 24 of Who Are You? Who are you?
I sounded like Michael Jackson.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to welcome my amazing guests, Tracy and Andrew, that I have known y'all for 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years. And they are the creators of Achieving Mastery Retreat that is happening in the LA, south of LA, right?
Yeah.
Between San Diego and Los Angeles.
Between San Diego and Los Angeles. Y'all, you feel like you're going to the spa. Hi, Colette. You feel like you're going to the spa just by going to their website. And I want you all to go there. You really do. I was looking at y'all's site last night and I was like, oh my gosh, you have both created such a magical oasis in California for Californians, and prayers for all my friends out in LA that have been suffering from any of that. My heart and love and prayers go out to you. I understand what you're going through, except mine was a hurricane back in the fall. And gratefully, you're Tracy and Andrew. Okay, we got to give him backstory, y'all. Tracy, you and I don't exactly remember. We met through Heather's thing. It was
Heather
like
and a raw dinner party at my house in Venice.
a raw dinner party. That's so right. I so remember that. And you were like, who are you? And now I'm doing a show. Who are you?
That's great.
You can't, but I remember being in your kitchen. You're like, oh my God, you are hilarious. Can you like be in my life? And I was like, oh my gosh. And your daughter was like 5, 4,
yeah, something
5.
like that. Yeah,
Oh
and you two were like best friends. And I was so happy because, you know, we have a house full of adults and Ava was thrilled to be playing with you. Oh my God, she was so happy to play with you.
I love the children. Like I love the children. I love the children. And my own child, the most humbling one of all. And then, so you and I have been friends ever since, on and off. I mean, when you moved
never
across,
off, but like, yeah.
like I moved back to New York. I was doing tours. I was doing, musical theater, life. It's just things
You're
change.
amazing.
Thank you. So are you. And your artist, y'all, her art is transformational. Like you look at her art and you're in another land.
Oh, thank you, honey.
And then her beloved Andrew Spence, I met them both separately. Because I wanted to tell your story. I met them separately, and Andrew was the sound engineer for my sound healing album, Beyond Illusion. And I remember you had this beautiful, I mean, your room was all burgundy, dark, and cool, and this gold microphone. Oh my gosh. And I was like, yes, this guy. And you were like, we finished. And I was like, no, we're just going to do this like this. And then we did it. And you're like, I don't know what just happened to me. But I'm really high from whatever just happened. And you're like,
it was beautiful.
Everything. So fantastic. So, and now you both met. Then, okay, can you tell us that story?
It's quite an interesting story, actually, because we met in 2015, basically on a yoga retreat out in Joshua Tree.
I was just going because my friend wanted to get to know the yoga teacher. And so I went, and there was Andrew. And I was kind of like, I'm going to stay away from everybody because I'm just not a yoga person in that way, you know. And go on, honey.
Yeah, and then we really hit it off, and we started a relationship, and then we were in a relationship for 2 years, and all of a sudden we found a friend, a common friend thread between us. We said, how do you know him? I said, well, I knew him from 2006. She said, well, I do as well, from a birthday party in Malibu. I said, me too. She says, well, were you there? Who were you, you know? And we looked at old photos. And we'd met in 2006.
And we totally, like that night when we went to sleep, recalled our whole conversation of meeting in Malibu.
Yeah.
12 years prior.
We had a conversation on the cliff top.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, what a beautiful woman.
And then on top of it all, for 8 years, I drove past his studio where you went and recorded. For 8 years, taking my daughter to school. And then it was like, he walked past my house years before and had looked in through the plants and was like, wow.
That's a great story. My daughter was signed to Disney. And for the first time, I was walking through Venice. And as I walked past this house with a manager, I said, stop, let's look in this garden. This is magical. And it was Tracy's house, and I didn't know.
Until he was there, finally.
That house was magical. Do you still have that house?
No, we sold it 6 years ago and then moved out here to Murrieta, but it's actually La Cresta up on the Santa Rosa Plateau, which is really sacred Indian land. It's not Murrieta as in Murrieta, but
right.
Or Temecula, wine country. That's where people will know the area. But yeah.
My cat Lovey making an appearance.
Hello, cat.
Oh.
I wish we could be at home and my kitty would be making an appearance as well. But we have a lot of wind today.
Yeah, so you guys are, so the fires are affecting your location, just not.
We've got
like
2 new fires.
They
2 new
keep
fires have
popping
just
up.
broken out, yeah.
It's really crazy. And there's a whole lot of thoughts about that, but I don't know if we're going into that. I don't think so. But the company
we don't need to
now
give
is like,
that consciousness any more of our consciousness than it deserves, which is
exactly none. So we just had to go down the hill to get some internet.
To get some electricity.
Like this is, and I text them on Facebook, y'all. It's like, this is how we do the apocalypse.
Yes.
Right, Lovey? So thank you so much for being available and your yes and coming on. I love it. That's so amazing because universe is like, oh, they're not ready yet. Oh, they're not ready yet. Another 6 years, they're not ready yet. And then all of a sudden, you finally.
That's funny, yeah.
Here it is. Here it is. I bet I could find something in your astrological charts to match that, but that's another show as well.
Wow, how beautiful.
So, Andrew, I asked you originally to come on the show, and I had a feeling you and Tracy were still together because I had another guest scheduled for our hurricane time that I thought was you. And he was the guy that scoped my throat for me to face my greatest fear back in 2004. And I'm sending you a thing on Facebook saying I couldn't do this show because of my electricity back then. And now here you guys don't have electricity. Like, this is how the energy of 2025, in my opinion, is going to be going up and down and up and down. And we all just have to have our eyes on a swivel and be so aware of our heart space and our neutral points and being calm, having access to all of our faculties, which actually brings us to why you two are here on this show now, because that is what you all assist people in doing. So your Achieving Mastery Retreat.com. Seriously, y'all, go to their site right now, because when did y'all come up with the idea to do this space? And then tell us what you do at this space.
Tracy, my beloved.
So let's say I've been studying for a really long time with many different teachers, wondering what am I going to culminate this into. Andrew has always seemed to have had a desire to do these classes and things that he does. And then when we both came together, it, it's like, it just started bubbling and brewing when we moved out of Venice, which was a really smaller space. We ended up here. It was a barn with 30 horses, and Spirit said, it's not going to stay a barn. Everything kept pushing us to make, and my friend Shashi, who's my Indian guru teacher, and I love so much, he was like, you're going to have a temple. You're going to have a temple. Even in Venice, I was like, Venice has no room for a temple. You're going to have a temple. You're going to have a temple. Well, we come to this place to escape to escape LA and escape COVID, and this giant, which is a really, like, not a barn. It's
architecturally
30-foot ceilings, and we transformed it. It is now the temple, formerly known as the barn. Anyway, so this all started happening, and I was going to do rooms for renting because that's what I was doing on Airbnb. And somebody said to me, "No, you're going to have to redefine yourself." And I thought, oh, my another teacher, my Apache teacher, Andrew, says, "Why don't we make a maloka?" I thought, wow, well, I wish we could build one in the field or something. He goes, "Why don't we do it instead of the rooms?" And that's how we. Can you see us? Because we are off the screen.
I cannot see you. So I was just going to ask y'all.
Here.
Right. Let's see. You guys are doing amazing. Show Andrew Spence share screen.
Yeah.
Show on stream. That's not going to work. Well, now we're having. You know what? I'm like, I wonder if because we've lost you here, and I forget.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can definitely hear you.
Okay.
Let's do this. Nope, that's
funny.
You.
The wind is really picking up, and
so it may be interrupting with our thing. You know what?
Here we are.
Oh, there you are. Oh, great. Yay. Okay, so now I want you to stop sharing. Oh my God, I'm learning technology. Oh, good goddess.
Tell me when you want me to say any more or say less.
I want to hear about this barn, daggone it. And what'd you do with the horses?
So they were renting our space. The lady that was renting our space was, renting it with the horses and stuff. And we asked them to move out. There's just more about that, but the horses kept telling me.
The horses were talking to us. The horses would say, please don't keep us locked up in these 12-foot stalls all day.
It was breaking my heart.
And they were hanging their heads out of the windows, and there were such beautiful horses, and said, please let us out. And we said, we can. We don't own you. And that was really for us an emotional right because we love animals. So it was just too much. So we said, we can't encourage this just to keep all these beautiful horses locked up like that. So let's do something else with this space.
And then the Maloka, which is considered a community space for prayer and gathering, became and mostly we do sacred work, sound healing. We've done some ecstatic dance, but very gentle.
Self-empowerment, spa, salt rooms, mineral hot tub,
meditation gatherings,
ancient Egyptian mystery schools,
and some medicine work. So cacao and whatever else we're allowed to mention.
Yeah, I mean, I worked with shamans in Machu Picchu in 2003, and journeyed with ayahuasca. Before it was mainstream or whatever, and it is a plant to be honored. It is very sacred, and it can help. I don't think there's, in my opinion, when it comes to natural medicine ceremonies, especially if it's facilitated, with a cacao or a shaman to honor the energy of it, Jupiter goes direct in Gemini on February 4th this year, and all of the information that's going to start coming at us is going to be tenfold. So I think a lot of people may lose their minds this year, you know, and this is where the work that you all do in a sacred and very safe place is something that can help a lot of people, and especially those that are your locals there in California that have been traumatized from the fire.
Yeah.
Uranus is going direct the end of the month, so that's earthquakes, earth changes. Gaia is birthing herself for these new realms that folks like you and I are assisting in building and anchoring in this now, but it's going to get bumpy, and that's not to scare people or put fear into them, but to know that there
Just
are
beware.
like you and I to prepare, you know, to be like you, there is help, because you guys have, is it just like a constant retreat and people can come to your space? And
Well, I want to say something about the losing your mind. We need to get out of our minds and get into our hearts.
Honey,
So
I
it's
did that
good.
years ago.
It's time to lose our minds and to find our hearts. And this medicine work that we do, along with the kind of sound work we do, and even the salt, and when they're in the salt chamber and we're doing
sacred Egyptian oils,
it's all bringing us down into our heart, out of our mind, losing our mind, because our mind is what got us into all this.
And we have a safe space.
Very programmed, right, through the systems that were, you know, but once we step out of those systems and take responsibility for unlearning or unconditioning, I think that's when the healing path becomes obvious, right?
Yeah.
Which is how it got laid out for you two.
Yeah, exactly. And you just listen. If you don't doubt and you just listen to what your guides are telling you without question and just say thank you, boom, you're on the path. And sometimes it sounds crazy. What? Yeah. But no, just do it. Go with it.
It sounds illogical. It sounds illogical, right? And it's like, oh, because you're not listening to your heart. And that's the other thing. It's like, but that's what your heart is asking for, right? Most of the time when we get out of the illogical. So how do you run? I mean, I kind of wish you guys could have kept the horses on your property and let them run.
Well, we do have 2 mini horses now.
I saw that in the picture on there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So it's how many properties or rooms do you have? And I'm a little ahead of myself. I think I'm picking up on y'all's nervous systems right now as well. How many like spaces do you have to facilitate groups? Is it a weekly thing, a daily thing? I believe you are going to be offering discounts for LA locals. Give me
Absolutely.
yeah. How do y'all do that? How do y'all run your deal?
Okay, so I think for anybody that's in need in LA, that's really suffering, that's having a hard time, just get in touch with us. We want to offer this space to anybody. I mean, I know money can be tight as well in these cases. We can work something out. We can offer a 50% discount to anybody from LA that's from the areas that have been affected by fire. We want to help. Of course, we have to keep our place running too, and it's a rather large place to keep running. But we're there for you. It's a safe space. It's a place where you can come out and just chill out for 2 or 3 days and just be in nature. Silence,
with the
reconnect
horses,
to the heart,
with the animals.
Very, very important space. It's sacred land, ancient boulders, and spirits are everywhere, and portals are everywhere on the land. It's just a beautiful place to be. Please come out. We're here for you. Give us a call anytime.
Now, say somebody like me okay, I don't count. I already have an in with y'all. But so
yeah, we've got loads of sleeping spaces as well.
We rent rooms out. We have like a little apartment. We have a house with 2 bedrooms. We have tents, glamping tents. We have bunk rooms and little private rooms. So we've got approximately, if we do a group, for example, and each person gets 1 bed, we have about 13 beds. But if there are people coming in to share, then we have more space for whoever's sharing as partners or whatever. So
we do groups up to 40 people. So
That's
good.
wonderful.
So, and also you said, is it an ongoing retreat? So basically the retreats are on the weekends, it seems, but it's all matter of scheduling. But then for the salt treatments and all that in the salt chamber, that is by appointment at any time.
Awesome.
And anybody can come and stay and do the salt treatments. And these salt treatments, by the way, are amazing. I never knew. I used to go to salt rooms and I thought the orange bricks were that, and it's not that. Those are decoration. So we found out, and we just started running our salt chamber like a month ago. It was my first experience in a salt room. So we have a machine, a halogenator, that grinds up the salt into tiny nanoparticles, and you breathe it in and taste it, and it goes into your body.
Good for the skin, good for the lungs, respiratory.
Muscles.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have Celtic sea salt that we make here in Asheville in my water. You know, not taking this good salt intake is what we need. We are saline beings. That has been a little cloak, shall we say? But actually, the salt.
So that's always available.
That's amazing, because I've sat in several of those rooms, and one of my besties down in Texas has one, and you feel so restored afterwards. Like, it feels like your parasympathetic nervous system just relaxes. And especially with people there that have been experiencing ingesting smoke or anything from the fires, it would be very healing for them to come down and sit in the room. For how long are those?
It totally clears your lungs out.
The mucus, everything starts to flow.
How long can you stay in those? Because it's usually like an hour, but do you guys like?
That's our sessions too.
45 minutes is a good time.
45.
And what we've been doing is telling people to come the night before, do a session, stay the night, do a session in the morning if they have to take off in the next afterwards, or you can stay as long as you want. But I mean, that's a really nice 2 sessions in a row is a really nice treatment to clean things up inside. It makes my lungs start getting rid of crap. It's amazing.
Plus, we added a beautiful aspect to it called Egyptian essential oils, anointing oils. And that's something that Tracy does because she's connected to Isis back there in Egypt. And she's actually been initiated in this ceremony. And if you go in the salt room and experience the ancient Egyptian anointing oils with Tracy, with sound bath, oh, wow. This takes it to another level. The great and holy Master Serapis Bey, who was actually the high priest of Atlantis, is always there. He's always there. And just to experience his presence within that room with the oils together, wow.
Through Andrew's voice, he channels the sounds that Serapis Bey
we
has
do
been
a lot
wanting
of
him to do.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, now, do you guys sing with your bowls? Because I was the first time you ever recorded somebody doing, I mean, I think you had said, God, that was 2010 we did that. I think you had said you'd never experienced anything like that.
No, what you did was very special. It was very unique. Very interesting to me for the first time to just listen to how you were channeling. You went straight into channeling straight away. And I just pressed record and captured it all. And it was a live concert for me to enjoy, bathed in frequency and vibration.
That's when we discovered that we both knew you, because I had studied sound healing with Heather. And I bought my crystal bowls because of Heather.
These are all my questions. I'm like, so guys, how did you do this and then get to that? And I love it.
And then I was doing sound bowls, and he says, oh, I recorded an album with this girl. I said, oh, who? And he says, Kristen. And I was like, I know her. So then we then we tied the whole circle, into a.
And here we are 20 years later on Restream in a Who Are You, connecting the dots of our stories of, how everything, Mother, Father, God in heaven, all of our angels, guides, and everyone has placed us in this sacred container of Restream to reconnect and share your magic with everyone. And I love how you guys have gotten brought
love her.
together and you're making your magic together. And Andrew, I want to hear your voice and your sound healing, because you're like a Merlin incarnate.
Oh, totally. Guess what his
Merlin.
nickname is?
Wizard?
I call him Wizard.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a
Wizard.
white resonant wizard.
Well-
I feel you.
Yeah.
So that's really funny because it is real. Believe in the magic. My lineage is that of Merlin, and we go way back to Atlantis. How did I discover this? Well, over the course of my life. When I was 30, I tried to take my life because of a relationship. As I did that, a voice came in at that time and said, "Okay, let the lessons begin." And my life changed from that point on. And then the voice said, "You remember when you were 8 years of age, you were having conversations?" And, I said, "Wow." I was actually 11. I said, "I do remember that." Well, the information came through big time. I was so open. And so how long has that been now? Nearly 30 years have been on the path of discovery, spiritual discovery. Remembering, powerful. So let's all remember the magic is out there. It is real. If we need to tap into that and rediscover that, that's what we specialize in. I mean, we're still doing it ourselves, for ourselves, but we have certain things down now where we can help mankind raise the consciousness, especially through frequency and vibration. Our world, our planet, our existence, music and vibration.
And
Because
yet it is.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
and yet the civilizations before us were doing it already. So we're remembering. We're remembering how to take that vibration and build pyramids and create incredible magic and
yes.
do healings and stuff like this. But it's not us teaching anyone. It's us just waking up other people to remember what their power is.
Exactly. And it's, that's
so
one of the reasons I started sound healing so many years ago. I was hidden in my studio apartment at first doing it and then singing. And then someone's like, "You need to do this." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm musical theater. I don't know. That's a little. But now I'm doing it full time because the frequency, and especially with the voice coming into play with those it's all about, in my opinion, it starts with the voice. The voice is what activates it and brings that vibration into our body, because that's what turns the dormant DNA on, which is our script from Mother God Universe of what the heck we came here to do.
Yes, you just nailed it. That's it. Exactly it.
I want you to come and do your sound healing work with your bowls in the soul chamber.
That's what I also want to, because
that would be,
you guys can do that also with.
We do that, but how nice would it be to do it together?
Do you know how big my bowls are? Do you know how big my bowls are?
Yeah, be careful.
But I could.
No, I don't.
But I could come and sing with your bowls
and play
with my voice, And I know it's like, oh gosh, maybe I'll get a Winnebago one day and just start driving around and zapping everybody. Right? I mean,
yes. I mean, actually, I was just thinking about doing that with my little bubble. I have a 13-foot scamp, and I said, we need to turn that into a healing caravan.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, I've been thinking too.
Yeah, I've thought about doing it for a little over a year, but my path is taking me into some interesting, got to get this done first, got to do this, got to blah, blah. But things are going to be so escalated and happening so fast this year, and we all can feel it. Andrew, you're an Aquarius. Tracy, it's been 20 years. Are you a Cancer?
Yes. Cancer tiger. Aquarius dragon.
Aquarius dragon. I love it. I don't know. I'm like, what am I? Oh, I'm a rabbit. Doesn't matter. But I was tuning into you this morning. I was like, I get to see Tracy. I'm so excited. I was like, wait, I know Andrew is a February 14th. And I was like, wait, she's a Cancer. She's a Cancer. Is that right, God? And they were like, yep, she's a Cancer. So I was like, yes, yes.
July 14. We're both
Oh
14s.
my gosh, I love it. I love that. So the wonderful thing about that is, well, I mean, don't get me started on astrology, y'all, but as you know, Pluto has gone into Aquarius, which is the transformation of our frequency for the next 20 years. Like this is full on, frequency is all about where it's at. And I mean, Andrew, I've always loved your vibe. Tracy, I've always loved your shell and your house. Like y'all are just so daggone adorable. Now I know. Do you guys, okay, so in some retreats, I want to get back to your retreat space because I want everyone and their mother to come and get healed by you. Do you guys offer
Well,
Yes, please.
we'll facilitate through our guides. The
Okay.
healing comes from above,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Tracy and I just facilitate.
I understand that.
But what was your
I
question?
understand that completely. So when people do like a whole retreat weekend, what does that entail? Because I saw there's a big space on your property. Also, is that the temple?
Yes, that's the temple. We have a maloka that seats 40 people. So we're going to a meditation for 40 people. And there's an equally as big a space for as a living room, a lounge area, beautiful big kitchen. The property can really take like 60 people just walking around. You hardly notice them. So,
But honey, tell her about the sensory and stillness.
the what?
Sensory and stillness.
Oh, the sensory. Sorry. Yes. So we offer a sensory and stillness retreat. The full program is on the website. So if you just go on to sensory and stillness retreat, you can actually read through everything that's offered in the retreat. The most beautiful thing about it is that there's not a lot of talking from the participants. There's a lot of listening. And we do a lot of sensory. So you start to smell, you start to listen, you start to feel vibration. After the 3 or 4 days, charged with you really tapped into this sensory feeling. So the numbness of just being out in the world with fire engines going by and everybody screaming and television and internet and all that, suddenly after 4 days, you're really starting to feel in touch with yourself again. And that's the main thing, is that it's a respite that we can really guide you over these 3 or 4 days to find a sense of peace and calm, stillness, a way back to the heart, and a chance for you to express anything that may be troubling you, in life. And maybe we have some approach that and help you through those times. We have a little bit of experience here, and we use different shamanic healing modalities as well as that from our guides to guide people through their situations, their traumas in life. We all have traumas in life, whether from childhood or for whatever reason.
Well, the reason is because we're here to learn how to master those things so that we can become even more powerful beings on our journey.
Yeah, so we can help lend some of these traumas and guide you through, at least suggest some good ideas at how we can deal with these things.
Some tools. Now, and do people bring their own food, or do you guys have the ability?
No, the food is provided. Wonderful, wonderful cuisine is there. It's all actually vegetarian, and incredible drinks that Tracy, the drink mistress, master, concocts. Incredible drinks, very healthy drinks. Fruit juices and kind of lemon drinks, and yellow drinks, and green drinks, and
brown cacao, different things.
Yeah,
I love cacao is so powerful. Like some people may, like cacao. Yeah, we're going to have a hot chocolate. No, cacao is the food of the gods.
Yeah. So when we do a cacao ceremony, I mean, Tracy and myself have done cacao ceremonies where we've been laid flat on the floor for 2 hours. Out.
Just
Just journeying.
learning from the mistress of cacao.
Not being able to move, really. It's very, very intense. Don't mistake a cacao ceremony with a cup of hot chocolate. No.
Oh, I don't, but the normie might.
Very strong.
Or someone that just hasn't experienced it. And this is one of the main reasons I do this show, because I know that your healing and magic is real, and these are the types of guests that I have on, like your beautiful selves, to get your information out to people that have no idea what the heck we're talking about, or think we're talking in a foreign language, or it's like, no, this is actually our birthright and how we're made to come together in community, which is going to be coming much more to the forefront as the old paradigm is shifting away and going away. And the community that we, it's such, I wake up every single morning and I thank Mother, Father, God for my life. I thank God for everything I have. I thank God that I'm breathing. I thank God for the hard stuff, the lessons I'm learning. It's that, say you have like $2 in your bank account. Thank you. I've got $2. Yes. Like just taking away. And it feels like this is the wholeness that your work, because I'm just talking to y'all and I'm already high as a kite. I feel like I'm at your retreat with you, because it's just connecting with you is so genuine, authentic, simple. And
I like it the way you tapped in. You've tapped into it. It's like listening to you. You've really tapped into the essence of what we do. Gratitude and appreciation being everything in life. I mean, that was my biggest lesson. Andrew, when did you ever express gratitude and appreciation for the gift of music that's been given to you? Hello, Andrew. Are you listening? I never did. I was always, I can do this better. This isn't good enough or whatever. Andrew, appreciation, gratitude. That was a long lesson for me. They didn't let up. That was 3 years of absolutely every day, every week, gratitude and appreciation. You don't know, Andrew, you're missing out in life because your gratitude and appreciation is just not at that point it should be. Until they made me realize, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I have been like that the whole of my life. Wow. I thought I was in gratitude and appreciation, but not the level that I should be.
That you can
My life
be.
has shifted since then.
Oh, listen, this is why we're all this is a divine appointment right here. Like you can't write it, and I have experienced that through hardship is what gets us to that point. And once you're at that point of knowing the gratitude and things, it gets easier and easier
Your
and
life
easier.
shifts. Your life shifts completely.
Completely. Now, what awakenings have you? I mean, Tracy, you've always been a light. Like you've always just been a gorgeous light. Like not that you haven't, Andrew. I so appreciate that vulnerable share. Like, because that's the real, not to be paradoxical, but the meat of the sandwich, right? It's like
Tracy's been my teacher. I got to stole the beauty of Tracy. I've never met anybody that's loved so unconditionally towards everything, everyone. And I mean this. I have never seen this. When I first...
Oh no. Oh gosh, I hope they can log back in. Oh my gosh, it's like our magic coming together, y'all. Hold tight. I'm going to send him a message. Oh my gosh, aren't they just so beautiful? I'm going to see if they can log back in. We were getting into some delicious energy sharing there, and isn't that so miraculous, like how universe has brought us all together? I'm going to see. Oh, here they are. Excellent, excellent. Oh my gosh, I gotcha. Yes.
We disappeared for a second.
I know. It's like you guys are wizards. Well, it's like you're a wizard.
No,
Look, she's got us.
Tracy's real. Tracy's real and direct. She's very real and she's very direct. Doesn't always feel that good, I guess, but boy, is she going to move us all to the heart.
Uniqueness.
How adorable are you two? Oh, yes, thank you. Do you ever host weddings?
So we are not a wedding place, but that's because when we say weddings, we're talking about, like conventional weddings and where everybody gets drunk and etc. No. But if we were doing a sacred wedding, we would consider that a sacred wedding being hand fasting and no alcohol. We're not really an alcohol property at all. So the vibration won't allow it. So yes, we would do weddings, but not in the conventional idea of weddings.
Yeah.
A non-alcohol
And it's a beautiful
wedding.
space.
Yeah. So,
more-
and can you share a little bit of the her story of the land? Because you guys know I do grid work and stuff, so of course I'm tapping into what goes on, because my mama Gaia energetics go out to your space, and I'm like, oh, that's delicious. But I didn't know about this land. What is the story of it?
Well, basically, of course, probably a tragedy because the land was taken away from the natives, but it is native Indian land. And there are elders that still live in this area whose tribe used to occupy the land.
From the Santa Rosa Plateau.
From the Santa Rosa.
And when I've been in meditation, the ancestors are on the land, of course, through the veil, telling me and us things like we're going to be teaching by living the way we're living. The people around us are going to start learning how to restore and respect the land. So
we restored the land. When we bought this property, it was in a pretty bad shape. There were no microbes in the earth.
The earth part.
Oh yeah, no, that's a soul.
Rubber tires chipped up on the earth, leaking oil into the earth. It was in a pretty dire mess. So we went about restoring the property to its beautiful natural splendor.
Yeah. So in 5 years that we've lived there, our field has turned from an arena, which was what it needed to be when they were doing that, right? To
planted over 500 trees.
Yeah, and a lot of life has been growing, and it's starting to shift into bigger, like from a flat land that has nothing to little hills that we created that started growing little tiny grasses to tumbleweeds, and beyond the tumbleweeds popping up voluntary, and so it's all
coming back
shifting.
to life, right?
Yeah, little pine trees and the eucalyptus are popping up on their own. It is. It's amazing. So
that's
it's
so
been
wonderful.
really amazing.
Oh my goodness, that is so. Yes.
Yeah, does that answer the question that you were asking, sort of, from the land?
Yes, it feels like it goes a little bit deeper and longer than that, and that is for y'all to discover, is the message that I'm getting from the land for you. And I'm totally gonna come and visit. It's literally yours to discover it. The visual that she's giving me is like when you all went to the land, pulling the tires and things out. It was like you were giving her a facial, like a deep pour, like get all the awfulness out of her body. And as that did it, it like healed an aspect of her heart that she didn't think would ever come online, and she's like, okay. Now she's just like, okay. And it's just going to be more and more and more revealing. And she's like, but she doesn't want to, like, she's like, but don't tell him the fun part. Like, because that's the joy that you all are going to experience in the journey as you continue to evolve with her through this ascension process.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. It's exciting what you just said, even though you didn't say
we understand we're stewards of the land.
Yes.
And we've been in ceremony with the elders and the ancestors to ask permission that they guide us in the stewardship of the land. And they blessed us so much in the last 5 years. It's been such a blessed journey.
I mean, my heart is like ginormous right now. I mean, my heart has gratitude for the work that y'all have done, and we haven't even seen each other in 20 years. You know, you can't.
Yeah.
My friend that lives in Murrieta, when we arrived here, I was like, oh my gosh, like, where am I? And she goes, you're in a place that really needs your work. And I said, okay. And I was crying because I left Venice and it was abrupt. And then here I am in Murrieta, and people say, where? And I'm like, and so I got over that. And then recently, just the other day, my friend who lives in Murrieta was at our house again because we were doing a sacred ceremony. And she says, in the last 5 years, there has been places popping up in this area that do healing and awareness. Like, I can't even imagine how many people have started doing this. And I don't say it's because we came, but I definitely know that this was where we were supposed to be to focus.
It is because you came. Because what you did was activate, like, with your light and your healing.
Okay, yeah.
You brought that light from source through core of your beingness, and you anchored it into Gaia. You pulled out all of her creations.
You're right.
You totally did. So that's the thing that in what I teach, it's we're all in this together. Like, Gaia is a go. We all know that. And the more we say we are a go with you, because the connection to the core of her,
Yes.
when we say yes to our divine mission, which is what you two said yes to, that distance between our root chakra and the core of Gaia is getting shorter and shorter and shorter as we continue to come together in this ascension process. So by you all,
and I love that.
Yeah, by you guys moving there, you helped her release a lot of pressure. Like, that she was just like this, and you're like an acupuncture of light to her core that opened, and now she's got other meridians, if you will, ley lines, organic veins that are coming on, which is facilitating other healers to be drawn to that land and do their magic with her. And then, I mean, I wouldn't doubt if y'all have a humongous party one day.
We're definitely already partying up there, looking down on us.
Well, and that's what I feel my mission is here in Asheville with these mountains. So, and that goes, that's my stuff, but we can talk about that back in the green room. I'm like, no, we'll talk about, I don't want, this is your show. This is your, but I'm so.
No, it's our show.
But
This is a thing together.
We haven't talked
it's amazing.
in 20 years. And then I accidentally got connected to Andrew through an accident, a mistake in identity, whatever. And come to find out, we're doing similar work with our work, in different ways, of course, in locations. But that's the beautiful delight that we all get to witness as everyone's DNA comes on, consciousness comes on, and I love that we're coming together in this unifying way, because there's been a lot of, I mean, just in the last 24 hours, some people having a really hard time and not understanding that they're supporting the divide and conquer, which is, in my opinion, from what I know of them, not what their hearts want at all.
That's why they feel the struggle, because it's
Right.
not in alignment. Yeah, when they're in alignment, then there's a calmness that's
Joy and ease.
beyond
Right.
belief. Yeah.
Join.
Yeah. And that's that part where you're just trusting and knowing and saying yes to whatever needs to be the guidance that you need to hear. I think that's where I was saying that it wasn't me, but it was the guidance that channeled through me.
Well,
for
and
sure.
some of
Find the joy,
yes,
find
and
the
some of
ease.
that guidance is your higher selves as well. You know, like you're a goddess.
Yeah.
You always have been. We have a little.
Thank you.
I think
I like that
we have a
accent
little
you
bit
used.
of a delay, so I give you my one-liner and then you wait.
Yeah.
See, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It was frozen for a second.
It is.
But that's
We're
okay.
doing great.
You're
Oh my
such
gosh.
a delight.
So I just love you guys. I
You're
just
such a
love you
delight.
guys. Like I am so grateful.
Oh, I love you right back. Love everybody
I
that's
do.
listening.
I
Everybody
love
that's
everyone
listening.
that listens.
Our hearts
Y'all,
go
I am
out to you
connected to some beautiful beings in my community, and just a
Awesome.
reminder, everyone, if you don't mind liking and subscribing and sharing this magic to all of your friends so that we can keep our light connecting through these very holy moly, topsy-turvy, but exciting times that we're going to be walking each other through from now until forevermore. And Tracy,
From now until forever.
And Tracy and Andrew, do you have any last sprinkles of wisdom you would like to share? Or
Yes. As you were speaking and saying to people to share, the thing that came to me was that even if it's like they'll say, well, why do I have to listen to this? What is it about? It's not about that. There's some kind of seeding that's happening in the workers that are focusing on this. And it doesn't matter what it is. There is a transmission coming through the work we've been doing and you've been doing that comes through us into you, and you will be awakening. It doesn't matter that you have heard it before or understand it, even just the fact that it's almost like a coding, that a code that is being transmitted through the work
activation
that we're doing, all of us, including the ones that think they don't know.
That's so true, because everyone has their own unique vibration and role that they are playing out for their learning, and it's an eternal process because nothing ever dies. It only changes shape.
Yep. And we are definitely in a shape-shifting time.
The best shape-shifting time that I have waited forever to have happen. I'm so excited.
So excited. And we are in the space where we now can choose which vibration we will live in. Stay asleep or wake up vibration. Change the story or stay in the old story and
old
stay.
Paradigm,
yeah. And you can keep existing, but the joy is in moving forward.
Infinity %, sister. Infinity %. Thank you. Infinity %.
Should we sing a mantra?
Oh,
heck yes, you can sing a mantra. 5, 6, 7, 8.
It would be nice to sing this mantra because of the death of the old energies.
Yeah.
So this is the death conquering mantra, and let's just do it.
Okay.
Om Trayambakam Vijamahe Sugantim Pushtivatanam Vargamiva Bandhanan Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Om Trayambakam Vijamahe Sugantim Pushtivatanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan Mrityo Makshiya Mamrita Trayambakam Ejaye Sugantim Pushtivatanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan Mrityo Makshiya Mamrita Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
Thank you, Goddess.
Thank you, Goddess.
Thank you. I love
We
you
love you.
all so much. Oh my gosh. Folks, if you are out on the West Coast or you need to have a shift in your frequency and your consciousness, and you need a special, safe, and sacred place to get away, located out in California, south of LA, north of San Diego, in a magical vortex of a place. And you can contact them through achievingmasteryretreat.com. Tracy and Andrew, do not hang up. I'm going to see you in the green room. I absolutely love
Okay.
you both inside and out. Thank you so very much for blessing this episode of my show with your presence. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, everybody. That wraps up episode 24 of Who Are You? Who are you? Stay tuned for more, everybody. Lots of love. Bye-bye.